888-253-3139. But regardless, they want to make us independent on them. We fund ourselves here selling Hillary for President shirts and books and films and things you need. X2 Survival Shield, 20% off. Water filters, 20% off at InfoWarsStore.com. And we couldn't do what we're doing without you, so thank you. But Larry, I was about to come back and talk about this, and you were wanting to bring it up completely separately. Government is all over the news, stockpiling records of food, weapons, gearing up for collapse. That FEMA's doing it. I mean, it really is going on. I hope none of this happens. I hope. I'm not predicting it's going to happen. They are. FEMA says they believe a 395% food increase in the next decade and worldwide meltdown because they're doing it by design. So in the next 3 minutes or so, Larry, talk about what, I don't know if you want to say the name of the insurance company, but the intel you're getting.
Well, Alex, I've tried to be as informative as I can, but some of the information I get, obviously, I'm in a very tough situation as to what I can or can't say. But I am begging your audience, folks, if you've ever believed a thing I have ever said, ever, hear me here. And I get nothing. Tell them, Alex, I don't get anything from, I get no money from Alex for this. This is nothing. It's for you. Folks, you have got. It's coming soon, sooner than you even think. It's coming, and when you have got to stock up and be able to survive for anywhere from 2 to 6 months. Now, I warn everybody, think about the times when you've gotten a report that a snowstorm's coming, and you run to the grocery store and the shelves are already bare. Folks, when this economy, remember there are 5 major banks, one of them is technically defunct right now. And when that gets known, everything is going to collapse right on top of you. So
it's going to be Lehman Brothers Part 2 is what you've been told?
You bet. Worse than Lehman Brothers, because there's not any way to catch it. There's no way to save it this time. There's no too big to fail. What we're talking about with the financial companies, the 5 major banks, we're talking about such a significant debt and significant loss that they cannot withstand it and they can't hide it anymore. So I would suggest everybody, if Alex has got it, use it. Get food. Get food that you can put up and have ready. Get water purification. You're going to have it. And then, folks, get iodine, get medicines that you've got to have to be able to exist, because you're going to be on your own. Alex, we're fixing to be, if we're not careful, and I don't even see how it can stop now, we're going to be in a mode where we basically are just damn near primal.
Well, that's what the establishment says. I mean, here's an example. Usually doctors, and my kids are at them, try to go, here's antibiotics, even if it's not needed. And now I just keep them. I used to, not get the prescription or throw it away if they didn't need it. And now I've been doing that myself. I mean, I've gotten storable food here at the office. I have gotten more solar panels at my house. I mean, because I can instinctively see it. And I hope somehow we dodge a bullet. But we've gone from this being a possibility to a probability to a near certainty, and I just wish that folks knew how, and of course, obviously, we're funding our operation, selling things we think people need, but I just want to beat the globalists. I mean, we take right now all the profits from the Hillary for President shirts, and I'm putting them into airplanes to fly over the RNC and DNC with giant banners saying Hillary for President. I mean, I'm all in, and, there are a lot of crazy people out there that say, well, talk radio is going to do better, if Hillary gets in, because everybody will be listening. Listen, I'd rather go out of business and have Donald Trump in there and have a chance than be on air. I'm not here crisis manager, trying to, I want stuff to be better. And the public's mindset, some of them that think all twisted, it just shows how screwed up things are.
And Alex, one thing that I hope you're prepared for, they're going to shut the internet down. This day's coming. It's kind of like with terrorism, the next big terrorist attack, even Obama's.
They've got an internet kill switch. They admit it all. And look, nobody thought they'd do Obamacare. Nobody thought they'd stop calling Islamic terror. They won't. Right. I mean, they give orders now. Larry Nichols, God bless you. NicholsLive@AOL.com is your email. God bless you, and we'll talk to you again soon, my friend.
Thanks, buddy. See you.
Thank you. I'm going to punch out right now, and because David Knight came in on this Sunday, this is Larry and I taping this on Friday, but there's a live show coming up with David Knight. And I was just going to tape the whole show, and David Knight said, no, I want to come in on Sunday. He cares so much and is so upset about what's happening and realizes nobody else is live on the weekend. And so it's always great to co-host with him here on Sunday. Sometimes it's taped, sometimes it's live. It's live most of the time, but we tape some shows too. But quite frankly, I've gotten to the point where I feel guilty that I haven't gotten more prepared myself. I mean, I'm on my knees every night just praying for Providence and people to wake up, because if you study history and you look at what the elites are saying and you look at the things that are going on in this world, it goes from crazy to insane to just, like he said, just basically barbarism. 7 million people starved to death in the Great Depression, and we were 90% rural, most of them self-sufficient. Those numbers are exactly flipped today. And you look at the zombie-like population, God, I'm one of them. Compared to my grandfathers, or I mean, especially my dad's dad, he could do anything. And I'm just really concerned. And I'm just here trying to be a Paul Revere, getting you to get ready, warning people politically to try to change things and hopefully avert this. But at the same time, shifting to defense, getting ready for ourselves. And I've always been 10% get defense, 90% offense. I'm kind of 70% offense, 30% defense now. And as things get worse and worse, I go more and more defense, because there comes a point where I just got to take care of my family. And I've got to have these open, real discussions with you out there. David Knight can speak about it. You know, he's all in. He moved down here from South Carolina with his family and sold everything he had to fight the New World Order. He's all in. So we'll be back on the other side of this break. I'm Alex Jones. Have a great 4th of July. We're 240 years old this year. I just hope we have another few years coming up and hopefully turn the tide against this globalist takeover. David Knight coming up after the break. Alex Jones signing off for Infowars.com.
Welcome back to the Alex Jones Show. I'm David Knight on this Sunday, July 3rd, 2016. As we look at the state of our country, it is absolutely amazing to see the corruption that has been exhibited this last week and the calculated manipulation. I wanted to come in today and talk, even though I know this is a slow news time. This is why this all happened this week, by the way, folks. You understand. They like to break the damaging news on weekends. They'll break it on Fridays. They'll break it on Saturdays, because they know people aren't going to be watching the news like they will at the beginning of the week. We understand that, too. Everybody that's in news, and certainly the politicians, understand this. This has been building up this entire week. And, you know, it's like the big lie. You know, if you're going to tell a lie, go big. Go big. Because it's going to be easier for you to sell the big lie than it is a small lie. That's what the politicians understand. That's what the Clintons have understood. And, you know, when you go for the corruption, you got to go big. You got to go so big people won't even believe it, okay? That's what they do. And so we've seen this whole thing unfolding this entire week. It began on Monday when we had the private meeting between Loretta Lynch and Bill Clinton at the airport tarmac that we're told was just a coincidental tete-a-tete, okay? Then on Wednesday, we find out the Department of Justice, which is controlled by Loretta Lynch. 2 days later, we find out that they're going to recommend that the State Department be given 27 months to produce these documents. The irony is that they need more time because there's so many documents that are involved in this security issue, okay? So then we find out that there's going to be a deposition on Saturday. Who knew? Oh, well, Loretta Lynch knew, the FBI knew, I'm sure the Clintons knew. And that's the issue there, folks. We're told that this is bad optics. We see the headlines here. Daily Mail says, well, you know, quote unquote, hindsight is 20/20. Hillary says, you know, Bill is just kind of this bumbling idiot. You know, he's a guy. You know, men are just such idiots, especially Bill. You know, she's just an idiot. You need me. You need a woman here. But it's just this bumbling Bill. Hindsight is 20/20. It was regrettable, but it was a short chance meeting. Okay, this is all that we're hearing. We're hearing they just talked about their close, long-term friendship. I don't understand why nobody is calling her on that. Why hasn't she recused herself simply because they are close, long-term friends? If you're a prosecutor, if you're a judge, and you have a long-term personal and career relationship with somebody, he gave her her first big job in the federal government. Bill Clinton did. They are long-time personal friends. Why isn't that in and of itself a reason to recuse yourself from this situation? Everybody knows she's on his team. Why is this not an issue for anybody? I don't even hear anybody talking about that. They started talking about, well, she needs to recuse herself when they got so blatantly in your face about it. I mean, people have given them a pass about the fact that they have known each other for decades, that he's been her mentor, she's been his minion, and she won't recuse herself. That's not a problem. They say, well, okay, well, if that's not a problem, I guess we can just meet privately on a plane for a half hour and discuss tactics. Why was that important this week? And you understand, too, of course, we know, and we had the article, we had Larry Nichols, we were telling you every way we could, this is a sign. Everything's happening this week. If you didn't already know, this lady was a minion of the Clintons, that this was a political conflict of interest. It was a patronage conflict of interest. It was an employment conflict of interest long before this meeting ever occurred. This meeting occurred because of all these things. And if you didn't understand the fix was in, then just consider the fact that all these three things happened. The meeting on Monday, the announcement that they're not going to release any of these documents until the middle of her first term, if she gets elected. Probably will at the rate things are going because, you know, these same corrupt people are going to be controlling the ballot boxes. And then we have the meeting on the Saturday. It's not just any Saturday. It couldn't have been a deader news time unless they had done it on the Saturday before Christmas, the last shopping day before Christmas. And even then, it might not have escaped the radar. I don't know if anybody is out there listening to us today. I came in here because I wanted to cover this live, what was going to be said yesterday, and how it was going to be spun by the media. It's very important that you not let them use this same MO all the time. These people are career criminals. They planned this stuff. They timed this stuff. They timed it for 4th of July weekend. Not just any weekend, the 4th of July weekend, to let all this stuff go there so they could spin it, and it would be old news. They'd move on to something else before you ever paid attention. Are you paying attention? Let's look at what they had to say here. Look at how they spun this. And nobody spins it better for the Clintons now, this election cycle, than the Washington Post. They've always been lefties. They've always been biased, and it's always been obvious. But I have never seen anyone spin it more heavily than the Washington Post has been spinning it this year. I mean, just the worst I've seen. Of all the liberal papers of the mainstream media, Washington Post is absolutely the worst. Now, say the FBI agents interviewed Hillary Clinton for 3.5 hours Saturday morning. And, of course, you had the great, I got a note here about, if you haven't seen the Drudge Report, you see the picture of the headlines. They've got the New York Post where they've got Hillary on a barbecue grill wearing her Chairman Mao suit that she always wears, okay? I guess she's going to be our Grand Mao when she becomes president. But they have her on the barbecue. But, of course, she's not feeling the heat because she's got people like the Washington Post to douse the flames for her. Here's what they have to say. And, they're quoting her, and they just put this out there, and then they put their own spin on top of it. But here's Hillary's campaign spokesman, how he spun it. He said she gave a voluntary interview, and she is pleased to have had the opportunity to assist the Department of Justice in bringing this review to a conclusion. So think about this. Keywords here: voluntary, assist. I'm helping them, okay? I'm volunteering to help them, and we're finished. Okay, it's done. That's the way she's spinning this. Now, understand that they've been spinning this for a very long time. Remember it's back in May. We had FBI Director James Comey. She kept telling everybody, this is not an investigation. It's merely a security review. It's merely a security inquiry. And so they talked to Director Comey, FBI Director James Comey. Fox News talked to him about that back in May. They said, what about this security inquiry? What does that mean? And he goes, well, we're the FBI, the Federal Bureau of Investigation. We're conducting an investigation. That's what we do. We don't do security inquiries. I don't know what that's about. They use the language. They spin the language. They prevaricate around the bush using this language. So when she says it's a voluntary interview, and I was watching one of her surrogates on CNN spin this for her. And he said, look, if she was guilty, she wouldn't have even have talked to them. And it's like, oh, really? If you tell the FBI in a big investigation, you're not going to talk. I've got nothing to say to you. You go in and you just keep taking the Fifth Amendment. That's going to make you look very guilty. So if you're guilty and if you're smart, yeah, you will do this, even though there's a danger in it. And Hillary